What is up, my fellow Chibits? Today, I'm here to bring you a very different type of video. This is a video I've been wanting to do for a very long time now. Not for ReZero, but for any opening, because there's quite the good amount of openings out there, and a lot of openings tend to have a lot of symbolism, foreshadowing, and different things like that. And I decided, you know what, since I've been listening to the ReZero opening song so much, and I've been rewatching it, I actually noticed quite a bit about the opening song that I did not notice before, and also some of the stuff that we kind of already know now, but it's very interesting to see some of the things that the opening song did that just makes it so symbolic. And so today I'm here to focus this video on the breakdown of the first opening of ReZero. Now, like I said, I don't know how many of you are going to enjoy this video. I don't know if you're going to want more or not. I might do opening 2 or, the ending songs, and I might do it for future series in, the near future or whatever. But just right now, I wanted to kind of make a topic on this, just discuss, this opening song and break it down and show you the pictures of what individual scene means. So to start off, as you see, the opening song 1 of ReZero starts off with, a shopping bag on a blank surface, and then it continues on, and eventually you see it to where our main character, Subaru, he's laying on the ground, and he's dead. That's how the opening song starts off. Subaru is dead. And then all of a sudden it looks like time is just rewinding in a way to where he actually starts to stand back up and all his blood is coming back into him before the events even happen. His reset, for instance, his ability that he has and why he was sucked into this world. Now, one of the things that happens is you see when he actually revives, you see where this dark atmosphere surrounds Subaru and he realizes something is off here, something is going on. So before Subaru gets sucked into the darkness and, he has to go through all the despair, we see these brief little flashes of this. And there are 3 different pictures I have here. They're all something that, honestly, the only thing I could explain on, it has something to do with the witch's curse. That's the only thing I could assume it has something to do with, because you see these images flash soon as he gets sucked into that world, and then he has to go through everything before he dies once again. And you see this one image right here with the creepy eyes and stuff, and then you go to this next one, you see some form of symbol, weird, person on a wall, and then you go to the next one, and then you see a demon, you see some form of demon-shaped face and all that. So, I mean, there's a lot of creepy things here with these 3 images that happen. It flashes, it's literally less than a second and a half, 2 seconds, no joke. That's how fast these 3 images pop up. And with these 3 images, it pops up right when he's being sucked into the darkness, into this despair. So, like I said, I wonder exactly what these 3 images have to do with, but the only thing I can guess so far with what it means is it's the witch's curse. And then you see these flashes of the characters, for instance, Subaru is first, and you see, different parts of him, different Subarus that, will be eventually. Because Subaru has went through a lot of changes in the anime. He constantly changes, and he slowly broke down, and you see his, sanity slowly turn into insanity. Now, one of the things that really interests me about this opening is that there's one key thing that foreshadows something which I really liked. If you look at the twins, or you see Rom behind Rim, you can see both of the twins in, this one picture right here where they're standing right behind. It's really cool. It just goes to show you these different things about the characters, especially with, how they carry themselves. So, how Rim feels very responsible and how she wants to help out her sister, Rom, because of what happened in the past with her horn. You could see this right there with the facial expressions and all that. And this is something I didn't even realize until I just started rewatching the opening song, and I noticed this, which was really off to me, and I want to point it out. So, what you're seeing right here is Amelia and Subaru. They're both staring at each other, and if you look at the sky, it has this light shining down like brightness. It's like hope. That's kind of what this is, giving us, what this image looks like. Subaru's looking at Amelia. We know what type of relationship Amelia and Subaru have. Subaru, he looks at Amelia as someone he wants to save. He cares for her. He loves her. He wants her. That's kind of what it is. And we've seen how his character has progressed in the recent episodes. But one of the things here was to showcase, how Subaru thinks of Amelia. Now, look underneath them, okay? You see shadows. You see Subaru's shadow facing towards Amelia. Now, look at Amelia's shadow. Amelia's shadow is literally facing the opposite direction of Subaru. Yeah, seriously, look at it closely. Look at the way her dress is. The shadow is completely backwards. It's inverted. It's going the other direction. It's going away from Subaru. Now, this is very, very strange, because this is so off when it comes to Amelia, and I want to mention a couple of the things I think this might mean. So, I believe this room right here is or this shadow is probably, like, hinting at maybe the disconnect between Amelia and Subaru in the future. For instance, you know how Amelia and Subaru, they kind of have their, problems and they get in arguments, and we see it in the latest episodes. Now, it might be what it is. For instance, how, they kind of split up and, how Amelia will no longer look at Subaru. Or it can mean this. There is a possibility Subaru's constantly chasing after Amelia. As we know, he dies over and over, and he's constantly trying to save her life, and that most likely could be the reason too. Maybe he's constantly chasing after her shadow to, finally have her, and, maybe she might start liking him. That's kind of what you see right there. It might mean that. Or there could be some form of darkness surrounding Amelia, because let's take a moment to think about this. As we all know, at the beginning of the series, before Subaru reset and died for the first time, remember, Amelia introduced herself as the Witch of Envy. Yes, she introduced herself as the Jealous Witch. Go back and check for yourself. Before Subaru died, you had it to where Amelia introduced herself as the Witch of Envy. And then when Subaru, came back, he called her that, and then she got really pissed off. Remember, the episode ended off on that, and then it was never clarified exactly what happened. Why was she mad, or why would she want to go by that name, when we know that name carries a lot of weight to it? So, there's a lot of questions behind that. I mean, with the shadow, it complicates more things, that what type of relationship does Amelia have with the witch and also with Subaru for the shadow to be completely backwards? You see to where it's just completely dark. It looks like, something to where no light is here. It's all nothing but darkness, and Subaru has to fight his way through it. And when a new person steps in, which is Subaru, carrying on and moves past him, and then hope starts up once again, and you see the bright light all around Subaru. Their room turns into hope. And right after this scene, you see multiple Subarus. You see them all surrounding Amelia. And Amelia, if you look at it, it's not really facing Subaru. Subaru's like going down his own path if you look at each individual one. And one of the key things about this that really stands out is that each individual Subaru has a different color. Now, when you think of colors in terms of emotions, you get envy, wrath, you get pride, and that's kind of what I think these colors are meaning here, because, I mean, as we know, in recent episodes of, ReZero, the 7 Deadly Sins have been a very, very important part about the, series. And if you look at this closely, you see a total of 6 Subarus, and then you see, Amelia in the middle, the 7th. Weird, huh? Very weird. Remember what I said, too. Amelia went by the Witch of Envy earlier on, in the first time around, before, he reset and died. So that's very strange if you look at this image. But after that, more of them pop up. You see other Subarus popping up, and the colors change as well as the opening carries on. So it's really creepy if you look at it, like how the emotions of Subaru change. You see, like, different color swaps over and over. I like the color palettes the way it does that. Once again, we go back to this room, and Subaru's by himself, and he's just crying. And you just see where he's stressed, he's crying, he's probably desperate to try to save someone, which we see this throughout ReZero. And it's, once again, he has lost hope. You see darkness all around him. He has lost hope after, once again, resetting. Now, one of the things that really stood out to me was these two pictures right here. They're very, very weird. And honestly, I don't understand how I can interpret this. I don't know how to interpret this. But these two images are very weird, because you see some form of writing in the background. And like I said, I have no idea what the fuck these two things mean. But it's just very strange the way this image is, slapped on. So I was like, what the hell is this? It's very brief, but I wonder exactly what that means. Subaru surrounded by darkness once again, and he is by himself, and he's trying to figure out how he can get out of it. And as he's wandering through the darkness, you see like how he's running and trying to save himself, eventually he sees light. And this light he walks through to, he sees his hope. The hope which, all the people that have been helping him along his journey. Rim, Rom, Amelia, all of them. They've all been helping him, and he's trying to save them. You see how they're his, shining hope. But then as he's finally walking out and he sees the light, he gets dragged back down into the darkness once again. And then he must redo everything once again. And then the song pretty much ends right at the start. The start is the end of the opening. So pretty much everything he did was completely pointless. He has to do it all again. Constant repeat, which symbolizes his ability of resetting and how he is, cursed to constantly do this. So yeah, I mean, the opening song overall, it has a lot of symbolic meaning. And it really goes to show you, like, the mindset of Subaru, how much struggles he goes through, and how he has to constantly try to save them, and also how much despair he has, and how much hope he loses throughout his journey, and then regains it once again. I like it. I really do like this opening song. I felt like they did a very good job with it, and after knowing more of the meaning, I can appreciate ReZero so much more, especially when it comes to the anime. So yeah, that's about it. It was my brief little breakdown of the ReZero opening. Let me know your honest thoughts in the comments below. Do you like these videos? Do you want to see more? If you don't, also let me know. I'm just very curious. It's just something new I wanted to try, and I wanted to discuss my thoughts on the opening. You all have a wonderful day or night wherever you live. Please be safe. Chibi out.